Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 314 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. I am coming to give you some more updates in regards to a lot of moving pieces that are going to affect the world. Yes, I can say that. I am now the first next impactor. Many of you know that. I was very lucky to have been crowned on August the 30th. And why am I sharing this right now? It's because much is going on. I did a live a couple days ago that, hello, Hermilo. Thank you for being so supportive for so much of the time that I ran for the next impactor. And we are doing it. We are affecting the world one buddy at a time, one person at a time. And I'm going to be talking about that because I'm so excited about some of the events that are taking place. I want to share that I did a live a couple days ago where I talked about the next impactor. I gave an update of where I was at and what I needed to be able to help Chemo Buddies for Life, the platform that I ran on, to be able to go global, because that's the idea. We are going to help to see that no one faces cancer alone, both the person that is possibly the patient. So, yes, you heard me right, possibly the patient. That's an important piece, and I talked about that this morning on Lauren Harris's bathrobe moments when he highlighted me as the winner of the next impactor, the winner of this amazing trophy, and all that it represents. It's not the trophy that is such a big deal, though it's beautiful. It is what it represents, the world. Okay, so the patient or the possible patient, Chemo Buddies for Life believes that those people that are going through testing, they need a buddy. They need to know that they're not alone. That is huge. That is very important. That is a piece of our platform. And those people that love and support them, they should both be able to have a buddy, or all of them should be able to have a buddy. Someone that they do not feel alone, isolated, and afraid through some of the scariest 3 words you could ever put together. Or possibly 4 words. Possibly you have cancer. You have cancer. 3 or 4 words. So, I want to talk about one of the pieces that I talked about on day number 314 of Service Heroes. 313. Today is 314. On 313, I talked about our ambassador program, a very, very important part of impacting the world for Chemo Buddies for Life with our ambassadors. We have been building Chemo Buddies for Life with volunteers. We are about to start going at Mach speed as soon as I start getting more of the coaches on board. Hello, one of the top 5 winners of the next impactor, Christopher. Autism to Artism. I love the platform. Absolutely adore him. All right, so when I was speaking about where we are going with the ambassador program, which has been a very important piece of Chemo Buddies for Life, I got contacted. And I'm thrilled to share what I'm about to share. However, what I want to do is talk about the history of the ambassadors. It started with one person, one woman, by the name of Kimberly Cole. Kimberly Cole was one of our very first Chemo Buddies for Life. Almost 2 years ago, in October the 1st at 12:01 was when we turned on the Chemo Buddy for Life fan page on Facebook. A lot has happened in 2 years. Kimberly was probably one of the very first, if not the first, very close to being one of the very first buddies that came on board, became very active. She became one of my buddies. Many of the buddies have been my buddies because we've been building this one buddy at a time, buddies at a time. She became very involved in the network, and she is out of Florida. In fact, when a news article was done about Chemo Buddies for Life, at the time we were only in a few states. We now are throughout the United States and we are in much of the world, but at that time we were not. We were growing. Kimberly was the one that came up with the ambassadors. She was our very, very first ambassador. And the way I found out that she had come up with this is she had asked for permission to start talking to her oncologist at the chemotherapy room, in the chemo room, about the buddies. And she believed in them so much. She believed that we had something really going. And so she named herself an ambassador. I was like, go girl, go. And I sent her materials. I said, at the time we had a swag, we had a store. Right now we don't have it right this minute. I'm hoping to get that going again. But at the time we did. And so I sent her a bag with all sorts of information about us. And she took it to her doctor. And she talked to people about it in Florida. She was our very first ambassador. Kimberly passed away. And it was hard on us. It's one of the things about dealing in cancer is that we deal with humor, hope, and heart. And we encourage all of our buddies to have one of the celebration journals and really work with it. You can find it at chemobuddiesforlife.org. Go there. You'll get it free. Just put your name and email address in, and you can print it out. It's over 100 pages worth of a printable journal. And she passed. So, and it was really hard on our community. And Sharon, many people know Sharon. This is what was her image on her profile for the longest time, Sharon Nichols Ward. She's like, honey, is what she always called me. Honey, I'll take over the ambassadors. So she was an ambassador. And over time, she became our first senior ambassador. Many of you remember her. Many of you have honored her. I just honored her in a short story that I just submitted to be published with many of the others that entered the next Impactor. And I let them know that I was dedicating this year as being the first next Impactor, that I'm dedicating it to my buddies, in particular, my first senior ambassador, Sharon Nichols Ward. Well, many of you know that story. I won't go into it right now. What happened, the sequence of it happening, it's pretty significant. It touched me in such a way. Well, we had another miracle that took place. All of these are miracles, the way that it's all happened. We had Stella from New York. Just a ball of energy and amazing. She showed up. She showed up at first because she is a pastor. Many of you know that. And she lent her pastor hat and her listening ear to me. I needed it. I really needed it. I had just been put into the top 50 of the next Impactor, and I had just lost my senior ambassador, Sharon Nichols Ward, who was working this program with me and getting it going. Stella was invaluable during that time, and she stepped in as a temporary senior ambassador, helping us to transition from having Sharon to not having Sharon, and having me run for the first next Impactor. And many of you know that I really engaged when that all took place. Well, then Stella had some other things she had to do. So she stepped down. She's back. I heard from her yesterday, and we will be going live at another time. But for the Buddies community, I'm sure you're all doing happy dances right now, because certainly I was. We have our Stella back. We have our senior ambassador back. So she was like, okay, so tell me where everything's at. Tell me who's doing what. Tell me what's, and I'm like, okay, we'll get all this squared away. Because what I did when I did the live of 313, I was talking about volunteers and the whole count me in, count me in. I'm in it, team. I'm in it to win it. Let's do this together. And it takes a community to make anything happen. I believe in teams. I believe in teamwork. I've said that all along, and I will continue to say that every day. And Stella is an amazing team lead. She is going to be taking back the lead of our ambassadors, and she's going to be helping as we unfold something that we have been working on in a stealth way. Yes, a team of people that have been working on developing our very first beta matching site for Chemo Buddies for Life. There's still a little work that needs to be done, a few more meetings that need to be take place, and some content that needs to be loaded. However, just know this, that here shortly, you're going to be hearing from myself, and you'll start seeing Stella taking a little bit more of a lead. We're going to start doing some transitioning of Stella taking a lead over on the Chemo Buddy page, and something we've been wanting to do for a while, but we had to stop the idea. Yeah, my big cup, you guys have gotten to know it really well from the public service announcements that I did with Amy Morrison. But what does this cup represent? A coffee club. We've been wanting to have a coffee club. It was actually something Sharon and I were going to get going. And she actually had kind of a coffee club, unofficial coffee club with many of you. You please, as you watch this replay or hashtag live, let us know. Did you have coffee with Sharon? Were you part of her coffee club, her unofficial coffee club, the Chemo Buddies coffee club? Well, we're going to start that up, and Stella will end up taking lead on that. And then I've got Kimberly, one of our ambassadors, and I'm going to be inviting other ambassadors to get involved. It's a lot that's going to be happening here with that. So be watching. She was going to go live with me today. However, it didn't work out for our timing, and I wanted to announce to all of our buddies and the ambassadors. Instead, I just couldn't contact each of you individually. And so I wanted to let you know that our Stella is back. She's going to be changing her profile to say current senior ambassador for Chemo Buddies for Life, and she's going to start taking that role. So if you can't get a hold of me as you used to, you get a hold of Stella. She'll take care of business. Because what it is that we are all about is our Buddies program is going to absolutely be global. There's no stopping us. I have not stopped believing. I know I've used this image a lot because I believe in it. We are not stopping until this is absolutely global. And with the next Impactor, we will be impacting the world, impacting your world. We will be the buddies throughout the world. And the coaches from the next Impactor will be helping the first next Impactor, myself, yes, to do this. So I needed a team. I needed a team, need multiple teams and multiple leads. Stella heard it. She called. She's back in. Who else? Who else wants to get involved? I have another need, and I have some ideas of who I'm going to ask to be the team leads for it. We are going to do the second annual. Many of you may not know, but we had the first annual Giving Tuesday 24-hour telethon that, yes, I was up for 24 hours and did a quote-unquote telethon, a digital style, much like we did the Healing Through Music event, but on a much grander scale. We will be having our second annual. Now, I know I've got the coaches and they may step in and help me to come up with ideas for this. However, I want to start getting our team together now and really start the work, because if we get it going now, it is going to be extremely easy for us to pull it off. And it is all about, we need to make sure that Chemo Buddies for Life is able to go into the next year. Yes, I know that all of the things that will be coming our way because of the resources. Now, this question keeps being asked, and I'm going to be saying it, I guess, a bit of time. The prize package was $500,000, quote unquote, of resources, which to me are priceless. It was what I need. It was perfect timing, and we are going to put them all to use. However, people are like, what are you going to do with the money? Like, what money? Okay, I think that's enough said, right? There was not a package of prize money. I do believe at some point in time there will be. Oh, it's always fun around here. I think that prize package, including some kind of a money package, is going to possibly be in the future for one of the reigning next impactors in the future. However, the first next impactor, Tamara Hunter, did not receive any sponsorship, any cash prize, uh, uh, anything like that. I have a trophy. And I have coaches, and I'm grateful, ever so grateful. So what we need to do is we need to gather together, and those people that you know who you are, you're probably feeling it in your gut right now. Okay, I've been wanting to join, and I know I have the skills, and I know I have the abilities, and I know I believe in the program, and I know this will be good exposure for me, because quite honestly, anybody that knows me knows that they're going to get plenty of exposure for helping. It will happen. And it will happen because it will be organic and will be the right thing. If you're in it just to have the exposure, please come with some really great skills and no drama. However, really have it in your heart that you want to serve, because this is truly a program that's going to change the world. And the date of Giving Tuesday is the very first Tuesday in December. It is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so it falls on December the 3rd this year. And I'm putting the flag in the sand of second annual Service Hero Telethon is how we classified it last year. There may be a change in the name. I'm thinking Healing Through Connections. And it will be different hours: healing through music, healing through hobbies, healing through humor, like a comedy act, wink, wink. You may know who you are. Different celebrities, different skills that are going to come and make it a fun event. And the whole idea, it will be to raise funds, because we need staff. We need to be able to have programs that we have the programs. We need to be able to put them into play for Chemo Buddies for Life. So I'm going to ask again, who's in it? Who's in it to help win it? Because we are going to be hitting that finish line. And when I, quote unquote, I'm not giving up this one because it says 2019. I don't think they're going to expect it. I'm going to engrave my name on it, so they can't have me give this one to the next one. I'll give the next trophy to the next person. Be very happy to do that after a year, when we've had a chance to take Chemo Buddies for Life global. Because on Lauren Harris's show today, and on Barry Shore's radio podcast yesterday or the day before, and I will be going on a television show today. What I am letting everybody know is I am not stopping until we are global. And if anybody hears that they or someone they know and love is facing cancer, that they will immediately know to go and get a buddy, to be a part of the buddies community, to go get actionable items that they'll be able to print off, printables that they'll be able to print off, and ideas of, okay, I think I may be looking at it. What do I do? How do I do it? What are the questions to ask? Do I take someone with me? Do I not? What if I live in a remote area? Any of these questions, guess what? We have the answers. We have the answers. And we have so much more. I'm looking for more volunteers, and I know you're going to be coming. And I'm looking for leads. I know you'll be coming. Hi. Thank you, my dear Francis, one of my dear friends. And yes, you might recognize the last name. Wink, wink. I absolutely adore you, Francis. Thank you for being here. I am letting people know, like Mikey Adam Cohen. Mikey Adam Cohen is one of my, he's on my board. He's one of my advisors. He is someone that is one of my very dearest friends. And he has helped to formulate the whole Healing Through Music campaign. That will be part of what we're going to be doing on the 24-hour telethon. That is going to be part of what is going to be embedded into the Chemo Buddy for Life community. That is part of what we are taking forward, with the fact that I have now become, and I am embracing it, guys. It took me a little while. It's not quite 2 weeks. I am the very first next impactor. We are going to change the world. And we are going to be doing it, not only just the first next impactor, but the top 5, actually 6 people, but top 5 places, the top 5 next impactor slots are going to be the next impactor ambassadors. We are taking this serious because it is a brand that is going to make a difference throughout the world. In fact, let's see what one of them is just saying. Christopher Kaysen, one of the top 5, one of the next impactor ambassadors. I will be in Southern Asia around that time. Unsure how much of an issue that would be in terms of internet connection. Early December. You know what? Awesome. Healing Through Art. Yes, that is part of the programs, one of the programs, and Christopher has already volunteered to help with that. He has Autism to Artism, and he knows he holds a very special place in my heart. And there's personal reasons as well as just he's an amazing person. But, you know, we all come to whatever we are facing today with yesterdays, our yesterdays. And I want to recognize something because today is a significant day for many, and I don't want to let it go without saying that the events of 9/11 many years ago, 18 of them, I'll never forget. Many of you won't either. And I was a single mom working 3 jobs, a single mother working 3 jobs with children that had special needs, a single mother working 3 jobs 7 days a week, around the clock. And I had to have someone as a live-in nanny so that my children had somewhat of a family feel in their home. And it wasn't because I was able to give it to them. I was able to give it to them, but in a whole different way than I wanted. But you have to do what you have to do. 9/11 took place. I'm the head of the house. I'm a single mom. And where I worked, it's just so happened that the events of the next few days, I found out that one of the individuals that was on one of the planes, one of the hijackers, had actually been to my office. I was a manager in employment, specialty, headhunter type stuff. And so I ended up with the FBI at my office. It was a very interesting period of time for all of us. We will never forget it. But I remember so deep in my soul, I mentioned it in a post, etched in my soul, the commitment that I made during that period in time, that each day, no matter what, even if I couldn't physically be with my children and my family would know from my actions and the way that I went about those actions, that if I couldn't be with them, I was going to make a difference in this world, and I was going to do what I could to help them to do the same and to be the best that they could be. And, I'm sure many of you sorry, I'm a little emotional. Many of you had the same thing that was etched upon your souls on that day, or maybe another day in period of time. It might be a national, international, or personal experience that made a difference. I have many of them, to be honest, and you're going to be hearing about many more over because I'm writing a book. I'll be writing a book, and it's kind of exciting. The thing we learned on 9/11, because of the events of that day and the following days, was how small our world really is, and how one person or a series of a few people can change destiny. I look at this experience in that we can change destiny. They chose to do it for the wrong reasons and in a very horrible and violent way. However, the lesson that we can have etched upon us on a day such as today is that collectively, if we decide to do good, if we work together, unison in teams, with a common goal, and that is to see that no one faces cancer alone, and we do it in an orchestrated way, we will have an impact on the world that will absolutely go down in history. I will not stop and one of my family members came by yesterday to actually tell me face to face how proud that family member is of me and to keep going. One of my kids, one of my adult children, meant the world to me because I finally felt like I was going to be able to have some time with them. Then I end up with cancer, and then I end up deciding to start a nonprofit that's going to change the world. Guess what? Thank you. I haven't stayed up on it. We have Amy Morrison here. Amy, I'm going to call upon you. I hope you don't mind. I could use your help with Chemo Buddies too. I know you're working with Fusion Project, but if you don't mind for a little bit, I could use your help, and we're going to have some fun, like you were talking about this morning when the Bald Avenger went live at 2 o'clock our time, 2:30, whatever time in the middle of the night it was, that we were both awake. You had not gone to sleep. I was waking up. And this is one of my buddies. You know it. Thank you. I love you too, Skip. In fact, I could really use your skills too. If you want to get involved with us at all, I'm calling upon all of my buddies. And I will understand if some can and can't. It's up to you all. However, a year seems like a long time. However, a blink of an eye, it's been 18 years. 18 years. Doesn't seem like that's a baby that has now become an adult. 18 years, and yet it seems like yesterday. But I remember what my TV looked like, and it sure wasn't what I've got now. It wasn't flat. Thank you. I love it. You know what, guys? I love amazing, wonderful people. I have so many amazing, wonderful people in my world, and I absolutely love them all. So, as I wanted to go live, I was holding on because Stella was going to possibly go live with me today and say, I'm back, in her amazing, wonderful way. And if she was going to go live with me, yes, I have a little bit more bling because she thinks I should always be wearing more bling. And she actually sent it to me so that I would. So I'll just, in her honor right now, I'll just kind of place it in here. You guys, I'm a little bit more simple because I grew up in a one-horse town. I think you guys all know that. And though I'm a girly girl inside, I don't always look like it. So, that's my jeans and stuff like that, and t-shirts and stuff. But that's a sidebar. But in her honor, since she's coming back and she likes to play the girly Julie, bright and cheery stuff, we have Stella coming back, and she will be taking our lead with the ambassadors again, with many of our volunteers that have anything to do with our buddies and our community. And with that, we will have more resources that will be, she was really helping to define and to bring in more resources, of which we were having great success. Yet that's very, very time consuming. And she's like, okay, so Tamara, she's from New York. Okay, so let's go over this. And I'm like, okay, yes, wrong. No, wasn't able. Okay, yes, yeah. So she's like, okay, we got work to do. We do. I love it. I love it. So who wants, Skip? Thank you. I will look forward to talking with you. I always do. Anyway. And that picture you posted today. Was that who I thought it was with the big hair? Fun. If you don't know who Skip is, you will. He's an amazing, talented photographer, videographer, award-winning, been there and done that. Now he's working with a nonprofit that is taking out messages that people need to hear, and movies that are making a true difference and impact in the world. Amazing talent. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, guys, there's so many amazing, wonderful people in this world. And with this, I just want to say, we are going to finish the race, which is only going to be like, think of a race marathon or event that, when you have this race, then that race, then this race, then that race. This is one of the races, because of the fact that I do believe that there is always a way to win, and that one person is not too small to make a difference on the world. Yeah, it's always backwards. The world. I embrace this concept, and many of you that have been walking this with me have known that, some things have worked, some things haven't, but I haven't given up. And look who we are. It's a celebration. We've gotten this far. However, the work is only just beginning. And we have the beta site that Stella is also going to help to oversee content, but I need some more content managers. So if you have editing skills, writing skills, you like doing this, we've got Cosette that is that I owe a video to, and she is going to be overseeing our newsletter. If you haven't signed up at Chemo Buddies for Life, I suggest you start doing that now, because we are going to start being very active at a very quick pace now with all of the resources and the help that is going to be coming our way. So we have Cosette that is overseeing the newsletter. We have Stella that's going to be overseeing the ambassadors, volunteers, and helping with content. She's going to have like a ongoing article in there, or like a Stella's Corner or something. I don't know what she's going to call it. However, I need more writers. I need people that have a message that you can come with. If you are from the medical world, if you are from the entertainment world, if you are from the whatever, if you are a writer and you love to write, that's your thing, and you love to edit, I need you. We need you. The buddies need you. And the sky's the limit of where we're going. I've been talking with some of our international ambassadors that have been holding off, and they're now biting at the bit, saying, okay, when are you coming? When are we starting here? I need a 1-minute video. Like, okay. It's coming. And we're coming. And we're going to make this happen. So who's in it? Who is in it to win it with us? Because we're winning this race, and we are not stopping until we are able to look back and say, we did it. We got it to this point. We did it together. Because I believe in my core being that it takes us all united, hand in hand, to make anything happen. And we are going to do that. We are going to make what many thought was completely impossible happen. And that is to completely change the dynamic of facing cancer by building a community that is for the buddies, from the buddies, and all about the buddies throughout the world. It is our community. Now, yes, we need sponsors, and sponsors that will be a win-win-win, because it takes money. And I have one of the best business coaches that I get to talk with tomorrow, and we're going to be talking turkey. I am exposing everything of where we are right now and where we need to go, and be ready. I'm willing to do the work. Anybody that knows me knows I am 100 and multiple percentages in, all in. It just is going to be a lot easier if we have many of us and we become organized with a true organized chart. So raise your hand. Let me know who you are. Thank you, Skip, for saying that you'll call. We've got Stella back. I need more people. We've got Cosette that's taken the newsletter. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Skip. And thank you, others that are saying, hey, you know what? I've got a company and I'm looking for a cause. Let us be your cause. Donate a certain percentage of what you've got going on. There's one of my international ambassadors now. Yes, I know I owe you a video. It's just talking about that. I'm trying to catch up on everything, everyone. And you know what is exciting is when someone sees it and says, no time like now. Because you know what? That's how I feel. No time like now. And we are going to make this happen throughout the world. So who knows someone that's going to get an airline to sponsor Chemo Buddies? Who's going to Who knows someone that has hotels? Who knows people that we can get out there quicker, easier, because we are a 501c3. It's a win-win-win. We need companies. No one is too small. And I know that there's a lot of, I live in the land of the vineyards and the breweries, and many of them are looking for causes. Hey, come and talk to me. Let's talk. If I can get out there to talk to you, I will. Because you know what? The one thing that I am being very, very cautious of, and we can strike deals. I just am not going to let any of the cancer nonprofits, and I'm going to say this out there in the most respectful way that I can. I find that there's always a way to win, but you got to put your cards out there on the table. And that is, we're not going to be bought. We're not going to be bought. We're not going to be bought. And we could have been. And I've held out, and it's not been easy. Not been easy. But it's worth it. Because in the end, when we have a nonprofit that is for our community, by our community, and about our community, and we've got community sponsors, we've got cause marketing relationships, and we've got big, huge sponsors that have their names on us, the right ones, of which one of them is going to be the person that's been building out our beta site. He's got multiple companies, and I'm waiting to decide for him to decide which one it will be, and then we'll make that announcement. We need more. So who's joining us? Who's joining us? Let me know. Because there's always a way to win. And everybody that gets involved, you'll be winning. I know it. I know it in my core, and I know you know it too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for helping us to get to this point. The work is only just beginning. I am, yes, starting to get a little bit of energy back. That's why I've been a little absentee, because I've been doing my homework and I've been needing a little sleep so that I can be strong to go forward through this marathon of a year, because a year is not a long time. But as one of my mentors, Joy Willett, has shared, you can slow down time to make it more effective. That is what my intention is. I'm slowing down the time so that we can go laser focused and full steam ahead to accomplish the goal of someone hears that they may be facing cancer. What is it that they'll do? Say, where's my buddy? I need to be a part of the buddies. We're going to do it. We're doing it. Hold on for a wild ride. And we're going to have some fun doing it too. Thank you, everyone. And let's go full steam ahead together and change the world. One buddy at a time. Make it a great day. I'm going to go to San Diego and film. See you guys later.